So, what if I told you that all of continuous mathematics, literally every trigonometric function, every logarithm, and every root, could be boiled down to a single fundamental instruction? Sounds kind of impossible, right?
Think about the problem we face in computer science today. Digital logic is incredibly elegant, mainly because it's built entirely on the NAND gate. You can construct literally any Boolean circuit from that one simple primitive. But continuous math, that is a completely different story. It relies on a super bloated dictionary. If you look under the hood of your standard scientific calculator, or even just your everyday Python math library, you're dealing with up to 36 distinct functions and operations. It's an architectural mess.
But what if there was a completely different way? A recent paper by Andrei Odrivolik reveals that continuous mathematics actually does have a NAND gate. He calls it the EML operator. It's super simple. EML of x and y just equals the exponential of x minus the natural log of y. That's it. With just this single binary operation and the constant 1, you can literally rebuild the entire scientific calculator from scratch. Welcome back, viewers, to the Neural Intel Explainer. Let's dive into today's topic. As always, we'll focus on the technical details and implications of the technology we discuss. To stay updated on the latest in AI and ML, visit our webpage, neuralintel.org, and check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Twitter. All right, here's our agenda for today. First, the continuous NAND gate, then bootstrapping the calculator, followed by the EML compiler. We'll unpack the symbolic regression breakthrough, and finally, discuss the future of analog computing. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The continuous NAND gate, redefining the mathematical base.
Okay, let's dive into this. How did Odrivolik actually find this singular primitive? He used systematic ablation testing. Basically, he started with a standard 36-button scientific calculator and iteratively removed one function at a time, just to see if the remaining set could still reconstruct the original primitives. For all the architects tuning in, those of you who are completely tired of bloated code bases and want lean, sovereign systems, take a look at the progressive reduction of our mathematical base here. You've got the traditional base 36 at the top. Even the highly optimized Wolfram engine requires 7 primitives. But as you follow the ablation down to Calc 0, we drop to just 3. And then finally, the EML breakthrough at the bottom. 0 unary functions, just 1 binary function. A total count of literally 2, the EML operator and the constant 1. Wild, right?
Section 2. Bootstrapping the calculator, from EML to everything.
So how do we constructively establish that EML is actually sufficient to replace every concrete scientific calculator function? Well, you start with what you have. EML of 1 and 1 generates Euler's number, E. From there, you just chain the operator to find the natural logarithm, which becomes EML of 1 and the EML of the EML of 1 and x and 1. It's basically a mathematical nested Russian doll. Now, to compute things like pi or trigonometric functions, the internal computations actually require shifting into the complex domain to evaluate the logarithm of -1, but the math holds perfectly.
Well, Odrivolik points out that elementary functions are part of a vastly simpler class than we've been taught. For our MLOps engineers building orchestration layers, think about the massive architectural paradigm shift this represents. Instead of maintaining all these disparate mathematical libraries, you are looking at a singular uniform structure. But there is a question the paper doesn't explicitly answer. How does an orchestration scheduler natively handle the massive call stack depth this requires during real-time inference? It definitely suggests we might need specialized ML cores before this becomes viable at scale.
Section 3. The EML compiler, uniform expression trees.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we make this practical. The author prototyped a Python EML compiler. Because there's literally only one binary operator, the context-free grammar ensures every single elementary formula becomes a simple binary tree of identical nodes. The grammar is just s derives to 1 or EML of s and s. It is incredibly elegant.
Of course, there is a trade-off in depth here. Notice the reverse Polish notation code lengths for various expressions. Generating the constant e takes a depth of 3. The natural log of x takes 7, but complex expressions, like calculating pi directly, require massive tree depth, over 53 nodes. The compiler handles this mapping automatically, turning diverse math into incredibly deep, uniform trees. For the researchers out there deep diving into the math, here are the compilation edge cases you really need to know. It works flawlessly in IEEE 754 floating-point architectures like C. However, because the EML internal logic relies on extended reals, For example, the natural log of 0 being negative infinity. Pure Python or Julia will actually trap these floats and throw errors. But the good news is, it works perfectly out of the box in PyTorch and NumPy, which natively handle those infinity constraints.
Section 4. Symbolic regression breakthrough. The trainable circuit.
Neural signal check. Here's why this development actually matters at a technical level. In AI training, especially in symbolic regression, we are constantly fighting the heterogeneous grammar problem. Searching for formulas usually means guessing whether to use a sine wave, a logarithm, or an exponent. But by constraining our hypothesis space to an AML binary tree, we normalize the entire search space. We're literally just optimizing one type of node. 5 times 2 to the power of n minus 6. That is the exact number of parameters required for a level n master formula in an EML tree. By turning the math into a binary tree, we parameterize the entire structure into a differentiable circuit.
So we can treat these EML trees as parameterized, trainable circuits. By treating the parameters as logits and passing them through a standard softmax function, we can actually run gradient-based optimization via the atom optimizer. We're recovering exact mathematical formulas from raw numerical data. And the best part? Once trained, the weights actually snap to exact closed-form expressions.
The empirical results here are just wild. From random initialization, the model had a 100% successful blind recovery rate at a tree depth of 2. Now, deep trees still struggle with gradient issues and exploding parameters, as we'd probably expect, but shallow trees perfectly reconstruct symbolic formulas. It really makes you wonder, what architectural tweaks to our gradient flow might finally allow stable backpropagation through a depth 50 EML tree? If we solve that, we unlock models that don't just approximate data, but actually discover complex mathematical laws natively.
Section 5. Future of Analog Computing. Homogeneous Hardware.
Let's shift our focus to the strategic moat of this discovery. For the strategic CTOs out there, looking at the long-term horizon of AI hardware, the divide is pretty stark. On the left, traditional digital hardware requires massive real estate and distinct arithmetic logic units for different math functions. On the right, the analog ML architecture. Because every formula is just a tree of ML nodes, you could theoretically build a completely homogeneous analog circuit, just a single, repeatable, continuous component cascaded right across a chip.
Which leaves us with this. If EML proves that all elementary functions are just uniform circuits, is the future of AI hardware actually analog? Imagine what happens to our orchestration layers, our cost structures, and our energy footprints when math stops being a library of discrete code and instead becomes a homogeneous analog wave. Let that technical reality sink in. Until next time.